Hey guys, Billy Jenkins here with Silver Creek Doodles. Today's video is explaining about what we think about Dewclaw removal. Alright guys, so this video here is not exactly going to be the warm, puppies and cooing and all of that stuff because it's a different story. So we're going to talk about Dewclaws, what they mean on the front, what they mean on the back, what they're worth, if they're good for dogs with long hair, kind of all of that stuff. So listen to, if you don't want to see us do it, because we are going to remove some hind Dewclaws at the end of this video. If you don't want to see it, still listen to this beginning part of the video, and I'll warn you before we start it. But you just have to know, that we've been doing this for 11 years. We understand. We used to remove the front Dewclaws, we used to, but now knowing that studies can show that once you remove them, because they're actually connected, to the leg, that it could cause arthritis when they get older. We used to do them, we don't anymore. We leave the front ones, but the back ones, when they hang and they're just floppy and they're no good for anything. They're no good for nothing. They're not connected. They're just literally the skin is all that keeps them apart, even when they get older. So we actually have a lab, and this is Miss Maggie. You can see her hind Dewclaws are just floppy. Like seriously, I could tie fishing line around it and it would probably just fall off. It's not connected to the leg, so nothing. So her breeder should have actually removed those. Now, since she has short hair, she's a lab, she has short hair, it's not very attractive that she has those, but it's not harmful for her, unless she was to get it caught on something. But she's never had an issue with those, so we're not worried about them exactly on a short-haired dog. But even if we had short-haired dogs, we would still remove them just because there's no need. But when we have long-haired dogs and they have to get groomed, and you've got scissors going, the hair, and you've got, the blades, going through with the guards, it could get caught and cause some pain for our dogs. So let's go ahead and talk about what the front ones are worth and what the back ones are worth. So the front Dewclaw, so as a puppy, so this is Poppy's litter. So Kevin, we got Kevin from a breeder in Alaska. It was during COVID time, which I guess we still have COVID going on, but it was during when COVID was kind of up and going, pretty heavy, kind of new, and they were sick and she didn't get them removed. She said she would have, but she just didn't. So he's got hind Dewclaws. I'm like, bummer. When he got here, I was like, ugh, hind Dewclaws. But you know what? That's okay. I mean, even if he's got them, which once he gets neutered at about 5 years old, we'll probably get those taken off. We had a female, Miss Georgia, that had one hind Dewclaw. And when she got spayed, they actually went ahead and took that off too. Just because on a dog you have to groom, it's kind of dangerous to have it there. Now, it's not dangerous for her life, if it is to get cut or something like that, but it could be painful, and we don't want that. So when we've got long hair dogs, that's what we worry about. So let's go ahead and talk about the litter we have now. So Poppy and Kevin. So since Kevin has hind Dewclaws, he carries for that gene, which means he can pass them to his puppies. So in this litter, we have 6 puppies. 2 don't have any, 2 only have 1, and then 2 have 2. So kind of right in the middle. We're just kind of spread out, but kind of cool just to kind of show it off. We're going to talk about this first, so don't exactly go away from this video right yet if you don't want to see it, because I did video some, and I'll, put one or, all of them in here. They barely whine. When we do it, it's just, we don't cut it. They just pop out. And I know it kind of sounds bad, but as a 3-day-old puppy, when we do it, as soon as you do it, they're done. They're fine. They don't make a peep. But like I said, since we're doing the back Dewclaws, we could have done the front ones at this time too, but we don't exactly recommend it, and this is why. So we have found studies that have shown that if you remove the front Dewclaws, they are actually, so not at this age, everything is kind of, bones are super, they're not connected yet. Everything is, the growth plates are super far apart. So if you've seen our x-rays of Miss Pink from Eleanor's litter that broke her leg, when we done our first x-ray, like all her bones are just like sectioned apart because they're her growth plates and stuff. It's like everything is not formed yet. So, and then when we got our last picture, our last x-ray, almost 5 weeks later, it's a total different x-ray. It's like it doesn't even look like the same dog, but it's because she was so young. So as a puppy, and I'll throw up a picture right here, as a puppy you can see that all of their bones and stuff they're not even really connected yet. So that's why they say to remove Dewclaws between 3 to 5 days. And docktails and stuff like that if you're going to do it, because the bones aren't exactly set in yet. So we don't do front Dewclaws because studies have shown that if you remove those, since those are ones that will be connected to like the bone throughout cartilage, that those actually can cause arthritis when the dogs get older. I don't know if it's true. That's what I've read. I've not seen, I was a vet tech for 7 years. I've been breeding for 11 years. I don't think, and I've not seen anybody have issues with the Dewclaws besides when we've removed them. We removed litters and litters and litters in the beginning. And then I did have 2 dogs come back because at a year old, right where they would have been, got infected. So and what happened was that either, I can't remember if it was when I was doing it or the vet, because the vet taught me how, you didn't get all of it. So if you do it, you have to kind of get the sweet spot when they're connected like that. Then when you put the hemostats and push in, you have to push in really hard because you need to get the seed out of that too. So the front ones are just a little bit more difficult, but on these dogs, so I do think that dogs might end up using those Dewclaws if you were to, I think like they've shown before on some of the studies, if they were to fall in a frozen lake, which a lot of our dogs aren't going to do. But if they needed to grab a hold of something, they could use those thumbs, those Dewclaws to kind of help them. And it also helps with their balance, especially with hunting dogs and working dogs. Obviously these doodles, they're like not couch potatoes, but couch dogs. They're house dogs. We don't really do that much work like that with them. So I don't even think that we actually need the front Dewclaws either. But I would not want to cause arthritis issues in the future or anything like that if it could be prevented. So that's why, again, we don't do the front Dewclaws anymore because there's really no issue with it and it's fine. Now the back Dewclaws, they hang. They're just floppy. They're not anything. But when you take your dog to a groomer, or like I groom, or if someone's trying to trim up hair, if they blow dry and if the groomer isn't paying attention and they don't see that they have those back Dewclaws and they're so hangy, if they were to like brush the hair and then go to snip it close, they could cut it off. Because it's just hangy, and it's not exactly, it's not the toenail, it's the actual whole part is just hangy and it's connected by skin. It's not connected by ligaments. It's not actually in there like the front Dewclaw. It's just loose. So we don't need those. And they are also a lot easier to take off, which you'll see at the end of this video. But, I'll kind of explain it first. So what we do is I have someone, which my husband, hold the puppy on their back. I take the foot, take the hemostats, they're the curved ones, so they're like this, and I actually flip them this way, and I push down, and then you clip them together, the hemostats, and then I take and just rake with my fingernail over it, and it pops it right off. And I know that kind of sounds bad. The puppy will literally, and as soon as you pop it off and take the hemostats off, they stop crying. They don't say anything else. When you do the back ones, when you do it like that, there's not any blood, hardly. I mean, obviously if we opened and tried to mess around with it, it might start bleeding. But it's super easy and it's super needed, I believe, to remove the back Dewclaws. So I know I'm gonna get a bunch of nasty messages on here or comments from some of my subscribers that watch this video, or if it comes across your page. I'm not here to hurt the puppies or do anything wrong, but just like things that get done to human baby boys when they're born. There's a lot of things that get done for the better of the dog or the person or whatever, and that's what we're doing with these back Dewclaws for these dogs that have long hair and are going to be groomed, and there's no need for them. So we're going to start with the first puppy. So again, like I said, there's 4 puppies here that we're going to remove the hind Dewclaws. 2 just have one, and then 2 have both back ones. And then there's 2 puppies that don't. So they kind of got out of this one pretty easy because we didn't have to do anything to them. But I do want to go ahead, and I don't know yet when I sit down and kind of see how the video looks. And it's not because one puppy's going to do better than the other. It's just kind of the angle and, if my hand's over top in front of the video showing what I'm doing or anything like that. But I will go ahead and just make sure we have an example in here so you can see. If you are a breeder or you're interested in learning how to do this, you can definitely let me know and I can do a video for you more in depth. I do recommend, if you're going to do this at home, that you've had some type of coaching and you've done it at your vet first. Like I said, I was a vet tech for 7 years. I learned it from my vet. I watched them many times. They watched me do it, and then I've done them on my own, and they've done fine. And I know a lot of breeders that do them on their own, even the front ones, and they can be a little bit harder, but we definitely want to make sure we're doing something correctly. We're doing it the right way. We're kind of doing it sterile, you know, not having yucky stuff to maybe cause infection. And we know that we're not going to stress the mom out, because if she hears the puppies crying and she's behind them, you don't want her jumping around and stepping on the other puppies. We got to make sure everything is just super calm. So let's go ahead, start working on this video. I want to show it to you and show how we're doing it, and then you can definitely comment and let me know if you have any questions, or if you think it's, you know, if you agree with me. If you leave something nasty, like I said, I will not accept it. So don't waste your time with putting a comment that's negative. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, not so bad, right? So I get that it's not, you know, kissing and cooing and all of that stuff, but it's kind of things that I think that needs to be done. So if you thought that this video was helpful, not that you might have enjoyed it, but if this was a good video, give us a thumbs up. It's kind of just for educational purposes. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe link, and we'll see you on the next video, and it will be much better. Thanks. Bye.